Hi, Chéri. Welcome to Bella Let's Talk. Today I have my special guest. Not only one, but two of my favorite sisters, the ones that I love the most. They carry so much wisdom and knowledge. And it was a big honor, seriously, to have you both here today. So please, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Deanna. I'm happy to be here. Thank you, Bella, for having me.
And anytime, you're welcome. How about you?
Hello, everyone. My name is Daniela. I'm so happy to be here as well. Thank you for having me on this platform, and I'm excited for our conversation.
So today we're speaking about redefining financial freedom for Black diasporas.
My experience with money, the talk of money and money habits has always been kind of like a lack. I would say we don't really talk about it in the Black households as something that other cultures would necessarily talk about with their children or with their relatives. So I feel like that kind of played a part on how it shaped my views on money and how I handled it. So yeah.
That's deep. That's deep. That's actually true. For you, Daniela?
Okay, so to first touch on foundations, I would say growing up, I always admired my parents' work ethic, two very hardworking, dedicated people who cared about the well being of the household as well as financial stability. But something that I realized was that going to work didn't necessarily mean gaining transferable skills in the workplace, but it was mostly about financial stability. Particularly with my mother, though, something I admired about her was that she cared about her credit score. She did not play when it came to that score and just her overall relationship with the bank. So that is something that I truly admired about her and that I wanted to inherit from her. The only thing, though, that I would say is that I did wish that she would, take more care of herself and her well-being. So I would like to supersede her in that sense where having a good credit score, having a good relationship with the bank, but also just being comfortable financially and taking care of myself so that way I can pour back into others.
Yes, I do understand. But guys, I have a question for you now. Do you think that maybe they don't teach us certain things because maybe for them themselves they don't even know?
I definitely think that's why we haven't been taught in like the household in general. I also question why we weren't taught it in school. Like, was it kind of like a tactic for them to kind of keep us a little bit like pushed back? Because the skill is important when you grow up. Like, as soon as you enter university, college, you're hit with a whole bunch of debt. And then
Yeah.
people don't know what to do with it. So it's like I'm shifting from going to high school, going to university. Now I have I'm probably like $10,000, $20,000 in debt. Then I have to go to a job and work off that debt. But there's nowhere in that middle ground where we talk about how to maybe save up for school, our parents having an RESP. Do we talk about financial literacy at home? Like, these conversations are not necessarily like brought up for me per se. I don't know if you guys kind of like had.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's a combination of things. Well, it depends, of course, what you take in school, like what your interest is. But also, I think it's systematic in the sense that there are, I guess you could say, capitalists who are trying to keep people subordinate, specifically people of color. So conversations like this are always great where we can talk about those things. And I think when we talk about our dreams and aspirations, we look way too far ahead and in that way we neglect the little things that we need to do now to get to where we want to be. So just focusing on like routine, how do your Tuesdays look? You're thinking so much about the future of your finance, but you're neglecting like your present, right?
Right.
So I think once I came to that realization, I knew things were going to start shifting.
Nice.
You know, it's so sad that recently, I heard about it a lot, about how like you can take OSAP, but you only can take, if you want, you can take the grant and don't take the loan.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't know how to do that. So recently, it's how I found out about it, right? And I remember one of my other friend too, she told me how like her mom, like from birth, like once they were like still young, she used to save a lot RSP. And like now they're not struggling as much going to school because it's like they worked, so they have some money saved. They have their RSP already. That's enough to cover their schools. So and they go ahead and apply for OSAP, but they only take the grant. So for them, it's like, you know, they don't need to think about once I finish school, I have to pay this and this and that, right? But for me, like until this day, I have some amount that I have to pay for OSAP, right? For only the 2 years I went. And I said, like, I don't want that from my kids. Like, I know my mom didn't know about that, so I'm not going to blame her.
Yeah.
But what is something are you guys saying, like, yo, listen, I like, I'm not blaming you, mom. I'm not blaming you, but for sure, this is something I don't want for my kids about finance.
Well, I feel like with the relationship with my parents, they've always kind of just like, what's the word? They've always kind of like, I never had any issues financially. They never made me struggle. They're never like, oh, you're gonna feel this. Like, no. I was kind of harbored in a sense. But it kind of made me a little bit reckless with my spending. Now I'm saving, but I would definitely teach my children budgeting. And like, we're in the era of social media, of course. There's so many apps that make these things easier for you. So with those tools, I would teach them budgeting.
This might sound controversial because some people say agree to it, but some people don't. I'd say charging your child rent while they're living at home.
Rent? Girl, pushing it.
No. I personally, like, when I have children, God willing, I don't want to charge them a certain amount to live in their house when they don't own the house. Like, that's my responsibility. So I would take a portion of, the check, but obviously invest it for them. But I wouldn't take that, like, put that responsibility onto them because I know how it felt going to school, paying rent, and then trying to keep up with your grades, trying to make your part-time job, and then still give you a little bit of rent money at the end of the day is like...
It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's a lot. Like, it actually puts a lot of stress and pressure, but what I can say, what I learned from it was responsibility. Like, when you go out in the real world, you're going to have to pay rent. So it kind of already got me ready for that system of paying someone. But I just felt kind of like, Mom,
where are you? No, but on a serious note, though, I remember in grade 10, I was going to work and I would have to come home. So most of the time, I would skip the morning school and I would only come after lunch. Certain days, I was so tired for me to be able to go to school, right? And I missed most of the portion of schools because I had to go to work. My other classmate, most of them, they didn't have to work, or they work during the summer, and that would be enough to cover them for the whole semester. So you touching up about even paying rent, like when I started college, that's when I started paying rent. And it taught me a lot, like how to pay first what you need before you pay what you want. But for what age did you start paying for rent?
My mom kind of saw me like kind of go crazy with the OSAP money because it was like,
all of us.
She's like, oh wow, you're purchasing all these things, so you can cop up $200 at 18.
Okay.
Bad, but I was like,
it was a lot back then though.
I was like, I can do a lot with that, but now, like $200 now is like literally nothing. I don't want to say burden. It felt like a burden though, because it's like, okay, I have to make enough money, pay rent. That means I have to work a certain amount of shifts at work. I also have to kind of like time my classes. So working around my schedule, then trying to pick up a shift. It was like, is this what people like don't live at home kind of do? Like, who don't have money. So I was like, I kind of had to like switch. Like I had to shift. I had to find a way to like, you know, change this, because this is not normal to me.
Yeah. For my kids, to be honest, by God's grace, one thing I will forever teach them is this: how to pay their bills. I do remember struggling so much, like how to manage the little I have, because I was never taught about that. My mom will always be like, "Oh, save money, save money." There's even a slogan that she has, but I forgot about it. But I understand about saving. It's important. But also, my credit card right now, it's a mess because of like not learning that there's certain things you have to pay. You can save, but there's certain things that you got to pay on time. If you don't pay it, like you are messing your name up and stuff, right? So now that I understand about the difference about saving and also like, you know, paying things, like paying bills, I feel like I'm getting better, but I'm not better as yet. So that's one thing I want to teach my kids at a young age. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to get a phone, like, I'm going to buy you the phone. Don't worry. But like, you got to pay every month for it. So that way they get trained how to pay stuff. You know, that's one thing I want to do. Yeah. For you.
I would teach them, I don't know, is there like too early of an age to teach them about the stock market? Because I feel like that's just something.
They're good with numbers.
Like, I mean, like Warren Buffett, I don't know. I know he started at a young age. Like, obviously he wasn't doing it himself, but his father helped him.
How old though? Like 10?
I think it was like in his teens. I don't want to say a specific number, but like that's why he has such a large portfolio, because he started young. So I would definitely teach my kids about stocks, ETFs, mutual funds, high interest savings account. And then, because you know, we growing up, we had like our little piggy bank, and like,
of course,
you know, we'd want some candy or whatever, and we'd just go in and dip it, you know, but like, why don't we teach them like an interest building account, and then it kind of teaches them like delayed gratification. Hey, if I wait a little bit longer and I don't take it now, then I can afford this plus this, rather than just, you know, I want it now. So I definitely teach them about investing. When I have kids, they're gonna have their own account.
Girl. No, but seriously, guys, she wrote a book actually. So what is the book about? Tell us a little bit.
It's called How to Make Your Money Grow, A Guide to Wealth with Biblical Principles. It's available on Amazon. It's an easy read. Like, I'm an early childhood educator, so I kind of like get to see how, at a young age, how children kind of learn. So I was like, let me try and simplify this to the point where like maybe even like a 10-year-old could comprehend this. So, and I think it's working, because I've been getting a lot of positive reviews. It's just basically giving them a step-by-step. Like, I include pictures. You can't really go wrong. I give definitions about stocks, ETFs. There's Bible scriptures. So yeah, it's a good read. And
but what admire you like to just start?
I've had my hiccups with money. If I was able to teach myself, then why can't I teach others? Right? Because I used to live in this kind of like cycle of paycheck to paycheck, and it was draining. Like, I was like, how am I working? Because I started working from 15. Right? And I'm 25 now. So like, you know, you should have a good amount of savings from 15 to 25. But a lot of people don't, because we weren't taught that. You know, your body starts to feel away. Like, it's like, oh, I'm tired of working. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. But it's like, can't really do that unless you have a plan.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, I don't want to keep working paycheck to paycheck and not saving anything and not having any to show for. So let me go to the library. That was the first place I went to. I went to the library. I found the section about money and finance, and I just started deep diving, and I was like, okay, let's clear that. Credit cards, you're really supposed to be using 35%. I was using way more of that. I just like kind of did like a self audit of myself. So it's like, you know, and then that's kind of how I was like, okay, I can probably write this down and share with other people, because like, it's not hard. I think I was talking to someone and they're like, it's hard for me to save $1,000. And I'm like, that's kind of crazy. Yeah.
That's so small.
Yeah. So, and there's people out there that can't even save 500. So it's like, if I can save more than $1,000, I can probably teach
others.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good. I think you should start a class. I actually would sponsor that.
Yeah.
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 Start a class. Seriously.
Really
Because
deep on it.
the thing is, like, we cannot forever blame
Yeah.
our mothers and fathers and then teach us
Right.
certain things.
Right.
It's like, if you have this knowledge, why don't you share?
Right.
Something that I admire about Tiana's work is how accessible it is. Literally, you can teach this stuff to a 10-year-old and you can teach it to a 40-year-old.
Yeah.
And both of them would be able to understand. I think people are hesitant to seek information because they're like, oh, what's all this articulate stuff?
Yeah.
I don't understand what this means. I don't want to know it. But if it's taught in a way where it's accessible, it's understandable, it's clear, then, you know, people would be more inclined to learn.
Yeah.
I agree, because I do tell you the truth that I worked in an investment company for 3 years.
Oh, yeah?
And they told me to open an account to start like stocks and stuff. I'm like, I'm not going into that, because I've seen people who have the margin account.
Right.
You're in minus something. I'm like, sir, what are you doing? So me, I'm like, I'm out. I don't want to be a part of this. But now knowing that you are making money out of it, guess what? I really want to learn. But do I want to open books and read? No. So I need somebody.
And that's the thing. A lot of people, especially in our community, keep saying, oh, I don't read. And that's the problem. Reading is fundamental.
Yeah.
Like, you see, the first thing I went to was the library. Like, I had to read to learn what I was doing wrong. And what does it say in the Bible? My people perish.
For a lack of knowledge.
Because they reject knowledge.
Yes.
Like, I'm literally giving you a guide and they'll be like, oh, I don't read.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, okay, I have an audio book. Oh, I don't have time. I was like, okay, now you can't really blame your parents now. It's kind of on you.
It's on
Can I talk about that for a second? Though? Because something I've realized in the classroom as young children, I don't think teachers put enough emphasis on students of color and their education, especially with Black young boys.
Yeah.
When they notice that, okay, he's not really into the books like that. Okay, let's put him in an extracurricular activity. Let's put him in basketball, hockey, baseball. I don't know. Why don't you enforce him into that? Get him tutors, mentors, people who are going to push that on him. Like, I believe in you.
Right.
You know, a Black young boy needs someone to tell him, I believe in you.
Right.
We're going to do this together.
Right.
Right. And then you have people who get into their 20s, 30s, 40s, and they have absolutely no interest in reading.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's an issue we need to address in our classrooms.
It's very common. I actually hear that comment a lot. And I kind of just, not side-eye, but I'm just like,
Side-eye.
You don't read. Like, what do you do, like, to grow?
And we can't be mad at them.
Yeah.
They weren't taught that from young. How do you, you know, so.
But what I think, I'm being honest with you guys, like 100%, I think the issue is this. Most Black parents don't spend enough time with their kids.
Yeah, that's true.
I've seen a lot of young kids, it's like, mommy don't know nothing about what you're doing in school.
Right.
Don't know nothing what's going on in your life.
It's true.
So do you we will see each other tomorrow kind of thing. And most houses when there's no father, that also have a big play with a young boy, right? So, and this is why I created Bella Let's Talk, because the more we can talk about these things, the more we can help. One thing I'm tired of seeing around is young girls who have desires and things to do, and they're just sitting down and they're just afraid.
With regards to parents not knowing what's going on in their child's life, that's because they're at work all the time, trying to get the bills paid, trying to make sure that everything's okay in that department. And so that goes into the exploitation of the working class. Like, look at the ways that we're being exploited for our labor. So we need more entrepreneurs, guys. Start those businesses. If you have something that you're passionate about, do your research.
The 9 to 5 is not cutting it.
It's not cutting it. In a little bit in the Bible, how like a lot of women, they did a great work, but like it's not written. Like we won't see much about it because maybe themselves they were afraid like to actually like go ahead and write it because maybe they thought nobody's gonna read it and stuff, right? But like everything, it's like you gotta put it in work. Right. So I beg young people, like, go read in the Bible a young woman called Shira. You will find in the Bible and go read how she built these 3 cities. There's not much said about it, but it's like you can Google it to find more information. And that's why like I want to encourage young people, like mostly females, you don't need to wait for a man to become whatever whoever you want to be, right? And the wisdom. No, I don't really want to preach though. I don't really want to preach, but I just want to speak about it. I mean, like Solomon in the Bible as well, like he followed what his father David gave him already, right? And then this young man just followed the steps and how he should build this church. God was pleased. And then God, when he was pleased, asked him like, oh, what do you want? Solomon, knowing what like made him to like do what he did to please God, he goes back and said, as you bless my father, as you helped my father to be able to lead these people, help me as well, because he was a king. So like what, like young people, like I understand we're looking up, like one thing I don't like, if I can switch a little bit, we don't have a lot of women to look up to. We can maybe have the other type of woman, but it's like we need women who have gifts, who can speak, that come out, like we will stand with you. And I think that's one thing we have to come against as well, is it's the jealousy and the envy and everything. Because for everything, if we come out of it, like there's mothers who are so gifted in something, their knowledge can change your whole lifestyle.
Absolutely.
But it's like they're satisfied to do it 9 to 5 and you're not paying much attention to your children. It's not okay. Find something that you're gifted in and let us know. We will support you. At least spend time with your kids, right? Like do everything you could be with your kids. Like I want like entrepreneurs to stand up and get up. 2025, please, 9 to 5, stand up.
Stand up. Absolutely.
So yeah, Daniela, I know you achieved a lot of things. So do you want to tell us a little?
So something recently in the last couple of months, I attended an event where the mayor of Brampton was, Patrick Brown. Shout out to Mr. Patrick Brown. He was it was an open mic and we could just discuss whatever we wanted to, essentially. And so I took the mic and I really wanted to know what was happening with the relationship between law enforcement and Black communities, gang violence. I don't know if you guys are watching the news. You're seeing a lot of young Black men dying.
Not only dying, missing. And
missing.
Yes. And the news are doing nothing about it. But once it's another child, getting notifications that are so loud.
Absolutely.
And you get scared thinking something's happening in your house. But where is our Black young?
It's true.
Where are they?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know, like, what are we doing to bridge the gap between law enforcement and Black young men, particularly? what initiatives need to be taken. And then he just said something along the lines of implementing programs and things of that sort.
Okay.
Those are great aspirations. I just hope that we can see something happen
Yeah.
and build that trust.
Yeah. Not all talk, because that's usually what it comes down to.
But do you know one thing I could say boldly though? I do believe that most young Black women and men, it will come a time that they will actually take over Canada.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think they're already taking it over.
Oh?
Like, taking it over.
I see like a lot of MPPs and all those things that Black people. One day you will say Prime Minister is Black. I'm just here saying, hey man, Shababa.
Our Prime Minister is right here.
I was about to say you.
You look like a Prime Minister. Seriously.
No, I actually want mine to be. So maybe one day you will see me. I'm there.
Amen. In Jesus' name.
Shababa. So guys, I have a question now, just a simple question regarding like Daniela mostly. Let me start with you. You grew up in a family where you have two parents.
Right.
That's a privilege, like
Right.
And
That's a big
the grace of
privilege.
God.
a lot of people don't have.
Yeah.
And you said like you never struggled in finance, but you struggled in spending. But I'm happy that now like you find your way down again.
Because I meet people like you who talk sense into me. And it's the Lord, honestly. It's His grace. And I think everything is just a process, right? I think I was going through different phases in which I don't regret anything. I think everything that I did has put me where I am now and where I'm going. But yeah, the trajectory of things definitely changed.
That's good.
Yeah.
So you're making impacts already.
I hope so.
So I better get a seed. Okay. So
Okay.
I'm joking. But on true note though, with that, like you not having issues with finance, like environment is everything. Because now you just said like somebody, your friend, she's helping you and stuff. And that's why I say like don't have friends who are dumb around you, because you need people who can grow you and help you to grow.
Right.
So with that, like I'm an African, so I've come from an African home. And like, do you guys think like they teach us differently? Like
100%. I guess going to university kind of opened my spectrum of different people of color and how they live. I always thought like Black live like this way. And that's the end. But when I got to university, I had all these international friends who were like, oh yeah, I have a big house at home. My parents paid for my tuition already. I'm set. And they would just be spending money. Like, and I'd just be like, because of the news and how we're perceived in the news in different ways. So I was
like Africans or Caribbeans? Those are Africans.
Africans, because I'm Caribbean, so I know a little bit about but like just like the family structure. So like the man would be the head of the household and he would provide and take care of everything, and the woman would be like, you'd be more of a traditional kind of like family structure, as in like for me, single mom. I mean, I obviously know my dad, but like she took on more of the responsibility of like, taking us on trips, paying for school fees, school supplies, just everything in general. Like I always saw her doing it. Not necessarily saying I didn't see my dad do it, but like it was more of she was playing both roles. So when I heard my Nigerian friends particularly, they like, oh yeah, I just call my dad and he just gives it to me, and I'd be like, oh, like that's so nice.
I know.
I'm not saying my dad didn't give me, but like, it's like he kind of, I don't not hate, but like he's like, if I don't have it, then you have to get it yourself, which I feel like kind of makes me the person today.
Who you are.
Yeah. I guess my whole financial journey started when I asked my parents for braces. My teeth were kind of, you're in middle school. Yeah.
It was a great investment.
Thank
Come on,
you.
girl. I know that
you.
feeling. I had to pay for mine and I was sad. But
Oh, yeah. So I was like 14 or 15 and I asked them, I was like, can I please get braces? Like, I don't want to go through high school, university with crooked teeth. And they're like, sorry, Deanna.
Wow.
Can't afford it. Like, you know, because usually insurance would cover it, and they didn't have that. So I was like, you know what? I'm 15 now. I can get a job. I'm going to work through high school and pay for my braces. And that's what I did. And that kind of gave me a sense of like independence to be like, okay, if I can do this, I can do other stuff. So, yeah. But back to the whole Caribbean versus African, like, finance, I'd say it's more like in the African culture, what I've heard, it's more like you have to have money, like, you know, to support your family.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
It depends. It's few, it's not every one.
Yeah.
Right. But like growing up as well, like I remember my grandpa was the one who paid for our school fees and stuff. But we don't, like the way you said that child can be like, oh dad, I want this, and you get it. No, it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
You know, we were mostly likely to run to mom and ask her, because maybe like my grandma, and we may get it or we may not get it, right?
Okay.
But in that side, you know, one thing that just touched me,
Yeah.
it's how like though your dad is alive, and they don't give it.
Yeah, it kind of like, it's like stings. Just like a little, like, in your child. Like, so, I mean, no child wants to hear no, but like when it comes to like money, like, oh, I want to go on a school trip. You know, I don't want to be left out or like left behind. And it's like, oh, I can't afford it. And it's like, oh. Like,
No, for me, what hit me mostly, it's when doing lunchtime. Like you see other people like are going to buy food.
Oh, yeah.
They're just like, I'm fasting today.
Wow.
You know, those are moments where it hits, and you're like, yo, I gotta get up.
Yeah.
I gotta do what I gotta do to, like, you know, to get my own stuff.
But
right?
Well, first of all, I'm sorry you guys experienced those things, and thank you for sharing. Okay. I know it's a sensitive topic, but do you feel like it kind of robbed you of your childhood a little bit? You just had to be kind of like a hustler instead of just being a teenager?
100% for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of grateful for it now because, like, look, you know, everything happens for a reason. So, like, yeah, okay, I didn't get to go on the school trip, but, like, I went on other trips. Like, you know, I kind of look on both sides of, like, why things happen in life. And, like, now I'm seeing it. It's like, hey, maybe this was maybe this was God's plan for him to say no. So you could see yourself that you could do it. Yeah. And you don't need anyone besides God and, you know, yourself. But, like, obviously support is very, like,
it's needed.
It's needed.
It's needed.
And I obviously want, like, when I have my kids and whatever, to have that, you know, 2-parent household, like dad, mom, you know, and not be like, oh, mommy can't afford it. Because as I said, working with kids know when you don't have money. They know. Like, they'll literally, like, my kids will tell me, mommy can't buy that right now. Or, you know, it's kind of sad to hear because, like, they're kids, like, they're innocent. They don't know these things yet. But how do you know, like, mommy can't afford that yet? So it's kind of sad to see and hear.
Wow.
Yeah.
For me, I think what it did to me was, I remember the first time I got $10,000.
What did you do with that, Bella?
Listen, I spent it so bad. I didn't even save. I didn't even buy a car. I didn't do nothing. I spent it bad because it was my first time, you know?
Yeah.
To finally, like, have money.
Yeah.
Like, what?
What did you do during the pandemic?
Girl. Let's not bring that subject here. Listen, that's for another day, you know?
No, I was in the same boat.
I still regret about it. Because I'm like, by now we should be here, you know?
Yeah.
People were buying their condos out there. I'm like, oh, shopping, fashion Nova. Hey, where are we going? We're locked inside. We couldn't go anywhere.
No, but I do remember my first car. I bought it cash, so I was proud of myself to do that.
Good.
But because, like, listen, without knowledge, seriously, that's why you will perish. Because after getting the first car, I sold it because I was like, oh, I have money now. Like, let's go get, And then the car I got, I financed it. Come and see hell.
Oh.
I would never listen. If I don't have cash to buy a car, I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
God is good again. The car is gone, so now we're good. But the other thing too, like when you don't have understanding about money and the money comes in right away, you don't know what to do. And I understand why people say like you can help a homeless person, give them $10 million. Within a second, you will see them back again.
Yeah.
Being homeless.
So that 10 million in their mind could be $10.
Yeah.
Literally, it doesn't matter how much money you accumulate. If you can't manage the little, you won't be able to manage
It's true.
the lump sum. So back
Money
to COVID.
without financial literacy is
Yeah.
money soon gone.
Yeah. Like I was like, I don't even know how much I got. I think I got like over 20K.
In
I didn't have to pay back.
What was it called?
TI?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 20K. Like after seeing all like
Yeah.
the whole lump sum, like
I know.
where did it go?
Where did it go?
Where did it go?
Imagine if now you get it. You know what you use it for?
I throw it in this stock, in this ETF, in this crypto.
Right.
What?
No, for real though. But that's the thing I want like young people to learn from a young age.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, register to listen. We don't have the business name yet, but keep following us. I will put our Instagram and everything. Please follow us so you know when she start her class. Because me myself will be a part of it.
Okay.
So and. I'm serious. But do you know one thing that's my fear? I don't know if it's your fear. Because of this mindset, learning that I don't need no one to get what I want.
Yeah.
For me, it's a big fear
Yeah.
when like somebody else trying to like come in. I don't want them to ever think like I don't want to depend on them.
Yeah, no. I feel like
Yeah.
I don't think like anybody wants to kind of depend on anyone because like if you guys get in an argument or a fight, it's like, oh shoot, like you're the person I to go to for certain things. But it's like the Bible talks about Proverbs 31 woman. She has her own real estate. She has her own business. She gets up early. She does her stuff. So it's like the Bible saying the woman has her own stuff and the man has their own stuff. I don't think a person want to come into a relationship or one person's relying on another. And it's kind of like draining, You're just
Absolutely.
bringing me down or vice versa, bringing the person down. So I wouldn't want to get into a relationship where I'm the sole, I guess you could say, breadwinner and you're just kind of just there. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, I think all of these things are just conversations that need to be had.
Yeah.
So communication, of course, and just like establishing what the standard is from the very beginning.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people probably get into relationships and then it's like all the butterflies and things and then you neglect to have the more serious conversations. So establish that from the beginning.
Yeah.
With regards to like this whole 50-50 conversation, I believe in partnership.
Yeah.
And in life, there are twists and turns, there are hurdles, there are obstacles. These things are inevitable. And so I believe in picking your person up where they're lacking. However, I've come from a place where, low income family. I want something different for myself. I want something different for my lineage, my generation to come. I want to build an empire, and so there is a standard that I have, but I'm also willing to pick that person up where they need, to say the least.
Yeah, I feel like you're not always going to be like 100% all the time in life. And that's just...
that's not your enemy. I'm not your dictator. I'm your partner.
It's a partnership. So like obviously like if one season you're like, but like we already came into the agreement, like came into like the beginning, we know like where we stand. We're not just like staying stagnant. So it's like, okay, you're down for a little bit, but like it's not forever. Like, what do you guys, when you think of 50-50, what do you think of?
I think of 100-100.
Girl.
Okay.
Teach us some. Tell us some.
You You can't pour into someone's cup if your cup is half empty.
Right.
You can only pour into someone's cup if your cup is overflowing.
Right.
You know? So
Right.
I believe in giving 100% of your efforts into every facet of the relationship. Once again, these things are just conversations that need to be had. And if you have that kind of connection with your partner, if it's centered on Christ, most importantly, you should be able to have those open dialogues with your partner. Yeah, I don't believe in 50-50. I believe in putting 100% of yourself into someone you care about and you want to have a future with.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
So financially, everything.
You know, it's in the Lord's hands. I surrendered that. It's not in my control.
I feel like that's a conversation to have when you're actually in the relationship.
Yeah.
Because you guys have to kind of look at, like, you know, your financial status at that specific point. Like, if you're making, say, less than he is or she is, I think it'd be financially responsible for the, I guess, quote unquote, breadwinner to take on more of the responsibility. But like, if you're paying, you know, rent, then okay, I got the furniture, I'm making the house a home, you know? What do you think, Bella?
Listen,
You're like pondering.
you guys really want me to be honest?
Be honest.
To be honest, let's say, as you said, it gotta be a conversation. Number one, as I said, I don't like to depend on no one.
Okay.
Number one.
Okay.
Number two, for example, if we decide that we're gonna have marriage, I'm not coming to live with you in a house where we're renting. We have to buy a house.
Right.
I don't mind giving you the down payment.
Okay.
But as long as you know, moving forward, you'll be the one paying. I have no issue with that.
Okay.
You know? And I tell you the truth, girls, like, don't get me wrong. I feel like our generation, mostly females, we have this wrong mindset.
Okay.
It's like we want to take this man as, I don't know, like they're Jehovah himself. Like they can produce the money from the tree, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like some days we forget, like, yo, they're humans.
Yeah.
I don't want my husband to die out of stress because money needs to come in the house. Right.
Yeah.
And that's where we find most men running away because it's like, it's too much pressure. As a young girl, what are you doing, you know, saving up, paying up your... Why do you have to wait for a man to come and pay your bills?
Right. Right.
You
I
know?
think that's social media influence, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, that was the first thing that came to my mind when you said that. And, like, just adding off of that, this whole conversation about if he wanted to, he would. Okay, ladies, like, this just seems very avoidant to me. You need to open your mouth and say what you want.
Communicate.
He's not God.
Yeah.
He cannot read your mind.
Yeah.
You need to say what it is that you require. Have conversations and don't be so avoidant.
Yeah.
You know, he's not your enemy. I don't think he's your enemy.
Yeah.
So, like, have conversations about those things. And we live in a very crazy economy.
Oh, yeah.
Inflation is through the roof.
Yeah.
Times are tough.
Yeah.
Like, you need to be a little bit more realistic.
Yeah.
Although reality is subjective, but be more realistic with your expectations.
I agree. That do you guys ever think like, how can we grow the money together? So for me, even like if you guys, I don't know for you, do you guys believe in having like one bank shared, or you're gonna have like each one their own bank and one like as a family bank?
Obviously, you both come to the agreement that you are partners. So, but I still think like, you know, you should have your own kind of like side. Like you came into a relationship with your own account. So I feel like you should still always have your own account because you never know what will happen. But I think the idea of having a joint account and then having your separate account is fine. Just as long as like you're having open communication about the joint account. But the personal account, I don't really feel like it's necessary for a partner to know if you already had it to begin with, you know?
That's deep.
Yeah. That's my take.
In my opinion, well, the Bible says the two shall become one flesh. When you're married, although I'm not married, I don't know, but just thinking about it, it's no longer you anymore. Like it's not just yours. It's both of yours, right? Well, we could have conversations about prenups if you wanted to.
No. Wait. Okay.
Most people that I've heard talk about it, it seems to be a very uncomfortable, difficult conversation to have. But that's the essence of relationships, isn't it not? To have uncomfortable, difficult conversations. I once heard a divorce lawyer speak about it, and like the amount of divorces he's seen, and the people came into marriages in love with one another. Like they literally thought they were soulmates. And then 5 years down the line, they're done, and then they realize that all of their assets have to be split 50-50.
Right.
And they're upset, like, what? This belongs to me. Why do I have to split it? So I guess the prenuptial agreement just states that these things are mine if anything goes left, and those things are yours. I'm not sure if prenups are biblical, though.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not. So I'm quite hesitant on that, just because, like, I want my life and I want my life to be a representation of my moral values.
Right.
So if prenups don't align with the Word of God, then I'm cool with that. But I've heard of it, so that's why I mentioned it.
Yeah, I have to agree with Daniela.
So
I hope it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I hope we'd have a conversation where we could both come to an agreement where, like she said, yours is mine, mine's yours. But I mean, I did say at the beginning to come in with a personal account, so I might have to think about that one, because it's like, okay, you built your brand, right? And then you're meeting this person. Say you get together and you guys both come up with the idea together, and then they start their business. Do you feel like they're entitled to your initial, investment before they came in? So I guess that's the question. Like, should they get a share?
Definitely not.
Oh,
sorry.
That's what the
prenup comes in. So I'm just like,
it depends, because for me, number one, I don't believe in divorce.
right.
I don't believe in divorce. So the moment that you think of, you even ask me that question for marriage, straightforward, the first thing that will come out of my mouth is that I don't believe in divorce. So make sure you like what you see. Because until we die, we're here together. I don't care left and right,
Yeah.
I'm not coming to you because I need money. And no, like, there's nothing like that. So I believe in, like, building things together, and I don't believe in divorce. So if it comes to the place where, as you said before, I have my own checking account already, I'm working on. I told you my credit card was a mess because I worked a good job. I was like, I can pay everything cash. I don't need to work on my credit card instead of paying it off.
Right.
So now I'm struggling to pay it off. And I build it back. Do you really think I'm gonna be stupid enough, even if we're married, that I'm gonna put your car on my credit card?
Right.
I'm not doing that. I keep what's mine, you keep what's yours.
Okay.
Those are the questions that we have to talk. Don't come to me if your credit card is not clean, because then I know how everything's gonna go.
Right.
Oh, let's put the house on your name. No.
No.
Yeah. The co-signing thing.
No.
You have enough time before you bring the marriage talk here. Take your time, build yourself, stop talking too much. Men who talks too much most of the time, they're the men who don't have money. They're poor. So run away. I'm being honest. Like, run away. Because seriously, men who thinks a lot, they're the men who are making it. And that's why they don't talk. They don't have time to talk.
All right.
I get irritated when I see people are not working on themselves.
Okay.
And that's the first thing they bring in subject. I'm like, definitely not.
Yeah. This is turn off.
You know what I mean? It's a red flag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, that's it. Like, the money I have, don't worry about it. Let's build one together. Like, let's build one credit card, or build one, like, a family card together, where we keep the money for the kids and whatsoever emergency. But my checking is my checking, I don't want to go do shopping and now you're counting how much money I'm using to shopping. Is that your card I'm using?
No.
Thank you.
So are you, like, pessimistic or questioning their intentions about being in a relationship with you? That's why you're kind of like on the fence?
Not really, but I've heard stories. And
Okay.
because of those things, it builds me to that place where I don't play with it.
Mm.
But
Because
your story is your story.
I know, Daniela, I know, but also, listen, you gotta believe in people's testimonies.
Okay, I hear
You know,
you. I hear
there's people who will make you pay them back if they take you out for like a date.
Mm.
So listen,
I pray that love will never find me, please.
so this is where I'm coming from. Like, there's testimonies that you hear, you will lose even the interest for marriage. Because
Okay.
it just like, it's too much. I can't deal with that. There's people who are so stingy.
Yeah.
Mm.
For me, I don't want you to come and you're messed up already.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to work on yourself and you want to come and mess me up. No.
Mm.
Right.
It's not working like that. And one of my fears, we were talking earlier, it's my kids to ever ask me for something and I cannot afford it.
Right.
That will break me.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. So you're gonna tell your husband like, hey, I like you, whoever's gonna marry you, or hey, I have a house here, I built this, I have this investment. Like, you're gonna tell them all those things.
I wouldn't even get to that stage with you if I didn't trust you.
Okay,
Like I don't like literally I'm telling you the truth. I don't even really give people the time of day, honestly, in that regard. So for me to even turn to you and be focusing and be having those types of conversations is because I've seen your character, I've seen the fruits of the spirit, and I trust.
Yeah. That's good.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
No, for me, until 10 years in marriage, then you come to find out. I'm sorry.
Bella.
I'm being honest. You will get to find out my investments and stuff.
So sorry.
How about you? No, listen. My trust
Are these
issues.
bloopers?
My trust issues is really bad.
Oh, you gotta go
You
to
have
the Lord,
to,
girl.
yeah, I was gonna say you need to surrender that.
Yeah.
You're God's child, first of all. Before you're anyone's wife, you're a child of God. Do you think that the Lord will put you in the hands of someone who is careless? You're his.
The devil works hard.
No weapon formed against you shall prosper.
Amen.
Absolutely. I'm so serious. If you're God's child, if you're worshiping the Lord in spirit and truth, why would he allow
Yeah.
you to go through that?
Gotta think the other way, girly. Don't always think.
Doubt your doubts.
Okay, well, we'll see. But for me, listen,
You have to have your list with the Lord, you know?
I agree, but I don't think like the moment we're talking, no. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to like think about it. It's not coming. Like, I'm trying to be like, Bella, maybe change. No, no. No. I'm not that stingy.
Okay.
If I'm stingy. Everything about you, like your investments and stuff.
No. But I mean, like, they would already know me as a person that is interested in like finance and stocks and all that stuff. So it's kind of like, if you're coming to me and you know I'm interested in these things and you're not, it's kind of like,
No, but
Well,
if they ask you like how much you have already, you're gonna tell them.
no. Oh no.
So why you guys
That's
coming
dangerous.
against me? But then it's like,
No,
okay,
Bella.
not against me, but like, why you guys are like attacking me? But it's the same
No,
thing you're
no.
saying.
No, you said 10 years, Bella.
I'm trying to open your mind to different things, different
Like
possibilities.
she said, like she wouldn't give the person time of day unless she knew. Like,
Okay, wait. I have a question. So when are you guys gonna give him like a gift? Well, you're still dating or after dating? No, now I want to know. I actually am interested to know.
Is there a timeline for that? I think some women do 3 months,
3 months.
but I don't want to put myself
know.
under a time.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's all for today. No.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Bella.
Thank
This
you
was
for
so
having me.
fun and insightful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna start my workshop.
Yes, you have to hurry up. Yes.
Yes.
Actually, me and you, we have a business to do now.
Okay.
I mean it.
Okay.
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 So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It was a big pleasure to have my sisters over here. Please follow them on Instagram, So that way you can get to know their new businesses, because they're both going to start new businesses.
Okay.
Amen.
Amen. And I love them so much.
We love you.
Thank you. Oh, I feel sweet. Okay. So thank you for tuning in for Bella Let's Talk. It was a pleasure to have each and every one of you. I am so happy that you watch this. Please let this help you and give you some hope to know that you are able to do it. You can do it. Young men, young women, you can do it. Mothers and fathers, we beg you, pay attention to your kids. We are there to help as well. They're not there for you alone, but anything you want us to help you with their homework, anything, please reach out. If you're a mother and you are a single mother, please reach out to Bella Let's Talk on Instagram, anywhere. We will help you with anything you need. We have a young girl over here who knows much about finance, so she can help you, sit down with you, help you how to manage your money. And we want to build this as a community. So please share this with anyone you love, a father, a mother, anyone you love, that you want them to actually become something. Bella Let's Talk, it's here for you. We will help you in any community you are in. We will come and help sincerely from the bottom of my heart. I will love to help, and I will bring my friends as well. I have Daniela. She's so talented in many things, how to speak and carry yourself well. So if you need help, if you want to start a podcast as well, something like this, let us know. We will stand with you and assist you with everything. So guys, thank you so much. Bella Let's Talk is not only for me, it's to change a community, it's to change a generation, and I cannot do it by myself. We do it together. So please follow me, share and like, and leave a comment, and reach out to me on my DM privately for any help that you need. We love you. Thank you guys.